my issue. Take it for what it's worth. You had a thing with Dolly, or you didn't have a thing with Dolly, or something.
Okay, I'm here.
Dolly, or something happened with Dolly. Either way, perfectly fine. None of anyone's business. But then when you start lying and putting other people in situations that we feel like we're doing something wrong, just trying to mediate something, that's where this is a problem. That's where the biggest problem is. That if you want to not like Dolly and you trash Dolly, that's your problem. That has nothing to do with anybody else. But when you start lying about Dolly, saying things that aren't true, you put everybody else in a position that we don't know what to think. And all we can do is call it out and say you're lying. That's what happened last night. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't have any ill will towards you. I just don't know why your hating of Dolly or your issues with Dolly has to involve everybody else. That's all I'm saying. And you've involved everybody else by lying. That's all.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Okay, sorry.
Number one, I did not lie about Dolly. Number two, I was in Laura's chat and I was just watching the video, and this lady Pippa started making comments to me about Dolly. I kept telling her, shut up, just shut up, just shut up. So a little bit later, Laura said, what's going on in the chat? Why are people bullying Avery? What's going on in the chat? So I went up on panel and I told Laura that Pippa is in the chat and she keeps making comments at me regarding Dolly. So then Pippa comes up and then it turns into a huge deal. I haven't spoken about Dolly in months and months, other than sharing his videos from his girlfriend, Melissa, which were sent to me by Hills in the Air. Aside from that, I haven't talked about Dolly. I don't talk about Dolly. But Pippa was saying a lot of untrue things. She was saying that I hired Benny Keys and paid him $10,000 to have people killed. She was saying that I cloned myself and put myself in 3 different states to harass him. It's just a lot of
yeah. I just want to make a comment really quick. That you, when I heard that you hired a hitman with $10,000, like I almost fell out of my chair laughing, because that is the most ridiculous shit I ever heard anyone say. I don't even know you, Avery, but I'm serious. Like when I say this, like, okay,
you're telling me
if you believe that, like it's embarrassing if you believe that. I'm sorry.
Do you know how many times I had the police at my house in front of my son because they went around saying that I hired a hitman? Dolly Vision even turned Benny's picture into a hitman, and that's how Benny got the nickname Hitman Benny. Benny didn't even know.
Oh, that's where it came from?
Yes. Benny didn't even know that's how he got the nickname. Once he learned how he got the nickname, he took it off quick because he didn't even have any idea. I had the police here at my house time and time again over it.
Reports over this? Do you have any proof that any of that is true? You have to have police reports. If the cops are at your house that much, there's reports.
No, there's no reports, but it's all over Team Rose's channel because she would go live while she called the police over here.
Oh, I do remember seeing those.
Yep, Team Rose goes live every time she calls the police.
Okay, so now you both see where it's kind of a mixed situation. He said, she said that can be worked out between you two. Laura said you were a member or a subscriber, and I don't think she meant any disrespect. Like,
well, I had to. So they were trying to give Laura a phone number, and I was trying to tell her that's his live call-in number. It won't work, and I thought that's a number that she was calling. And I heard her say it didn't work, it didn't go through. But I didn't ever hear her say she was calling him on Facebook. And so then after he came on, I had to get off abruptly because I had somebody standing here waiting to talk to me. And then when I came back into her chat, she was calling, I think we counted her calling me a fucking liar over 10 times and just bad, talking about me bad. So I just left.
Did you admit that was over a protection order? She thought you had fully filed, but I heard you.
Oh, she was just calling me a liar about everything.
That's a lie too. The video is still up. Anyone can go watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty out.
But what I'm trying to say is at the end, I think she wound up you wound up saying at the end, he just won't talk about me, where at first it was kind of assumed that you did have a protection order. So maybe she was calling you a liar about that part. Are you getting what I'm saying? Plus she was kind of in shock that she may have possibly voided a protection order, or not voided, I'm sorry, wrong word. Harm you all's protection order. You get what I'm saying, maybe?
Yeah, but I had already said 4 or 5 times that that Dolly cannot have, or well, he's supposed to not have contact with my family. And I had already said that 4 or 5 times. So
there's no that's a lie. There is no order for that saying that Dolly cannot speak to you. That's what I called a lie yesterday, and I will call it again today. That is
okay.
There's no order stating that Dolly cannot speak to you or your family.
Okay.
So is there a protection order that's finished? Because earlier you just said it was a letter. Is there a finished protection order against Dolly and your child.
No, it's not a final order until he
Okay.
is arrested. And he knows that he can't be extradited to Alabama on misdemeanor warrants.
Okay.
But it is a conditional bond. The judge put it in as a conditional bond
Where's the
that he is to have no contact, and he has been served.
That's all lies, Avery. That is
Okay.
prove
Do,
it. Prove
do
any
you,
of that. That's all lies. Alabama protection orders do not work like that.
That it is not
He is
a
not the
protection.
father of your child. That is a lie. He would have to be the father of your child for that to happen in the state.
No, he would not.
Then prove I'm wrong. Just prove I'm wrong.
I don't have to prove anything to you,
can't
Laura.
lie.
The man came to my home. The man has been threatening to kill my child. I
wait a
have
minute. Dolly came to your
Wait,
home.
what?
it on my Ring door camera. I took it down to the police department along with all the other videos and threats and the direct contact that he made to my child, and warrants were issued. He has
Can
two
we go back?
warrants, and they have conditional bonds because my child is a minor. They have conditional bonds. He is not to have any contact with me or my family.
Can Dolly prove this is not true?
Dolly,
Laura?
He's admitted it on his live. He laughs about it because he says they're misdemeanors. They won't extradite me. I'll just never go to Alabama. He
So
laughed
he
about it.
literally said that online.
After he came to my house, he went live the day he got back to Virginia and doxed my house and my farm. He doxed everything. He's done 19 videos about me. Of course, he takes them all down, but I still have them.
in order for there to be a protective order, there has to be a final order stating that he went to your house, that he did this. There's none of that.
That is not correct. I'm sorry, Laura, but you do not know the law.
Yes, I do. And
No, you do not.
Don't prove me wrong, Avery.
Well, the law
Laura,
can be
you
different in
are the
different
same
places.
person who I came up on panel and you were up there saying that you can only sue somebody for defamation if there's monetary loss.
That's not what I said at all. That is-
And you said that it has to be in their state.
it does.
And I told you, I said, that's not true because we have a lawsuit against somebody in another state. And you asked me, is it Dolly? And I said, no. Both of those things that you said are absolutely not true. And you said it time and time again that you have to have monetary loss and you have to go to their state. Well, there's a thing called the long arm statute. You do not have to go to their state. There are 4 elements of defamation, and none of them include monetary loss.
Be in their state. This is fact. This is
Nope.
not me making it up. This is factual.
Absolutely not.
Unless it's a business and the business is in your state.
Absolutely not.
Okay, whatever.
You are wrong 100%.
Okay, I have a question though. So it's not in order until he's arrested. That's what you said, right?
Well, it is. It's the warrant has been issued. So yes, it is. He's been served. The warrants are issued. So yes, it is in effect.
Is he like is he considered like absconding or?
Well, no, because they're misdemeanors.
A warrant is criminal. A protection order is civil. They don't go hand in hand.
Bullshit. Laura, Google a conditional bond in
You
Alabama.
don't have one on him. Stop lying.
See, this is what I can't. This is what I can't with this woman.
So what
Wait,
happened?
wait a minute.
Yeah.
I know that we don't know what's true.
I have a question though. Okay, so Laura was doing the joke call to Laura, like to
Right, I want to hear. I
right?
want to hear what you got to say, Avery. So I want to hear what. So try to mute Laura if you can.
I did.
Go ahead, Cap, or whoever was just. I didn't mean to be rude, but I'm trying to hear you. Go ahead.
No, I understand. I just I had an important question though. So how this started with Laura at the live stream, calling Dolly and joking around, and you were in the chat and you saw Pippi or whoever making comments, and you started to engage with her.
I just kept telling her. I just kept commenting, telling her to stop it, to shut up and stop it, because she was trying to start a problem. Laura was playing a video, one of Jimmy's girlfriend's videos, and Pippa starts commenting, "Avery, I bet you're behind all of this. Avery, I bet you're behind all of this." I mean, it just over and over and over again. I don't have anything to do with what's going on with Dolly and his drama with these women. I know a couple of the women who he, recorded and stuff. I know a couple of them, but I don't have anything to do with his issues that he has going on right now.
Okay.
So I just kept telling Pippa to stop. She continued. And then Laura asked, "What's going on in panel? Why are people bullying Avery?" So I went up on panel and I told her that this lady Pippa is in here. Look, I'm in Laura's chat all the time. Never have a problem with anybody.
Right, I was gonna say I thought you were in Laura's channel all the time. That's where I've always seen you at.
Yes, and I've never had a problem with anybody. And then this lady comes in. I've never even seen her in there before. And she comes in and she just starts attacking out of nowhere.
So I want to defend Avery for a second because I actually have.
Of course you do, but you don't know the whole story. So
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't.
Neither do you, Laura.
No, I don't.
Okay, let's give her a chance to talk.
A lot of stuff I'm not saying.
No, you're right, Laura. I don't know the whole story, but I wanted to kind of share something. So about when my baby was 1 year old, my ex attacked me and my son, and there were criminal charges in place. He did threaten to unalive me, and I did have to go to court. Now, there was an order of protection for me and my child, but I never had to physically get that order of protection. Now, you do need to get an order of protection though, Avery. Okay, if these claims are for real, you need to go out and get yourself an order of protection. That way, if he comes at you and tries to talk to you or tries to text you on social media, on the phone, whatever, that way he can be held accountable. But I'm saying there are. Now, I'm in from a different state, so again, different states do different things. But in that case, I didn't physically go file for it. There was no final order. I didn't file for any of that. It just was understood that he could not contact me. He couldn't see me. He couldn't reach out. He couldn't even be like within 5,000 feet of my house.
Yes, but you were in a personal relationship with him. That's the big difference. That's what I was saying last night. I don't know if he's the father of your kid or not, but you were in a personal, physical,
But-
one-on-one relationship with him. Big difference.
Is being Dolly
So Laura's
not a
saying-
personal relationship?
Laura, wait. So Laura is saying, because I know what she's talking about. In Alabama, you have to have been in a domestic relationship with somebody to get a restraining order against them. But we're talking about an 11-year-old child. So obviously, he would not have a personal relationship with Dolly Vision.
The rules.
This is a criminal matter.
The rules on
This is not
being a
civil.
minor
This
are
is not
nothing to do with
civil. This
lying
is
someone in
criminal.
another state. All protective orders are civil. None of them are criminal. They're civil.
Laura, you are the same person who titled Jason's video as the infamous Jason.
Get me into Jason right now.
I had to tell you, Laura, infamous
Do
means
not want to do this. Avery.
bad. Can you please go change that title? Infamous means bad. Laura, you are not educated, and I am not going to listen to what you say.
Okay, Avery. Whatever you say.
Okay, wait. Now let me defend Laura for a second, okay? Because I want to be fair. Now, Avery, you said that Laura called you a liar. Well, she is. Okay, hold on, baby. Sorry, my baby. Here, you want your Play-Doh? There you go. Okay, so you said that she called you a liar, and you felt some kind of way about that. Well, you do have to show the proof. If you have proof of this, that he's not to contact you, he can't say your name, he can't come near you or your child. If you want to show that proof just so that she's not saying you're a liar or whatever, I mean, you don't have to do that at the same point. But if you're up here trying to clear your name and say, yes, this is true, then you have to show the proof. You have to do that.
No, last night my intention was not to clear my name. My intention was to go up on her panel to tell her what was going on in her chat room. And it went way too far from there.
So
I've
if
already-
Queen
I've
promises
already-
not.
I've already addressed all this stuff with Dolly months ago, and I'm not intending on bringing it back into my life, bringing that stress back into my life. I'm just not. Like,
So this is already done and over with in the,
It's
so there is
been
an order or
done.
there's not an order.
it's been done and over with. Well, there won't be a permanent order until he's arrested.
Okay, wait. So you filed an order of protection against him and the
No.
court.
No, I did not. We did not file an order of protection. We filed criminal charges against him on behalf of our 11-year-old son.
You
And-
said
And so those charges are what?
Well, he's got quite a few of them. He's got.
So he has a warrant out for his arrest at this point right
He
now.
has two warrants,
Okay.
and in the warrants, there's a
Are they out of
conditional.
the state of Alabama or are they out of the state of West Virginia? And I'll look them up.
They're in Alabama.
Okay, I'll have someone run that real quick.
I mean, that does kind of make sense, though. I mean, he.
Oh, he knows he has the warrants. He's talked about it on his panel. He laughs because they're misdemeanors. And
Also,
if you-
Commonwealths are handled differently than most states, just so everybody is clear.
Right. That is true.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. I'm still a little confused on this. But okay, so how long has he had these warrants for? Because he was just in court for Savage. Don't you think they would have arrested him then, or is this like recent? I mean, you say it's
They
a long
were
time ago.
after. They were after Savage. He came to my home
Okay.
September 11th.
Wait. He came to your fucking house?
On the
Yeah.
doorbell camera, too, right? You said on the doorbell camera.
Yeah,
he was
him and
talking about
Bullhorn.
he was going to unalive you. And
Him and Bullhorn Betty. I think it was September 11th. It was when they went to Tennessee.
so that's enough for a criminal charge just right there. If you had proof and you gave that to the police, that's enough for criminal charges.
Hold
Well,
on.
not only that, but he has to.
Are we
he has
talking
to-
September 11th of this year?
I don't remember what day it was when they went to Tennessee.
You mean last year?
No, this year,
So
It was this year, but I thought it was like more July.
July. Maybe it was July 11th.
it's a big
Yeah,
difference.
it's been quite a while. It's been months.
Okay, because September 11th was like 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's
Remember,
been
it was
months.
around Summer's Day. You guys,
Is there footage of this? I'm sure you have footage.
I have footage. It was turned over to the police.
Okay, so someone just shows up at your house and there's footage, and you don't. I mean, you would have a copy.
I do.
Wait, what is your relationship with these two individuals? Do you just know them from YouTube? How did this
Correct.
even happen?
Well, so when I joined YouTube, which was like in November, on the nights when my son is with his father, I stay up pretty late. I paint, and I found Dolly's channel and started watching it. And in the beginning, I thought he was pretty cool, and so I would do super chats, and I super chat everybody though. I think
Were you
everybody knows that.
attracted to Dolly at any point?
Ew, no.
Okay, I just had to get that out there. Okay, good.
No. And so he would have us he would ask random people to do 10-minute segments on a crime, and then he would play different ones. And so I was doing true crime for my channel. I was trying, and I had sent him in a few. And next thing you know, he would just message, like, hey, what are we going to talk about on the show tonight? And a couple of times I typed up a timeline for him because he would be busy at work at the 7-Eleven, and that way he'd have a timeline. Or he would ask me to do research for him. And I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I liked the show. And so, but when when he let Team Rose come back in, and that woman has caused me so many problems over the hitman and Benny Keys, I told him, I said, I don't need to be in here if she's going to be in here, because this has been such a bad situation. And so I left his chat. And when I left, he got pissed. I mean, pissed off. So that's what
And
happened.
I got to interrupt you for a second. The middle initial is R, correct?
Who?
You, where the warrant would be out. The middle initial is R, right? Or
Are
no?
you talking about my middle initial or Jimmy's?
No, not yours.
No, his middle initial's D.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's back up for a second. So when was it discussed that you allegedly paid somebody 10K to unalive who?
That started
Dolly?
back. No, that she said that I was going to that I hired Benny Keys as a hitman to kill her. Her name's Team Rose, and she's one of Pippa's friends.
She's also accused a lot of people of that same thing, just so everybody's clear.
So
Yeah,
that was separate from the Dolly thing.
no, because she kept bringing it into Dolly's chat. I mean, it was a big thing.
And he
Like,
believed it basically.
No, actually, he got to the point where he actually did a video addressing her as just being mentally unstable and stuff. But then when he let her back in because she did video after video crying in like a psychosis type state for months, and he was afraid she was going to kill herself, and he let her back in. And so then I left.
Okay, so let's get to the point where they show up to your house talking about they're going to unalive you.
No, we didn't speak. I was taking my trash out, and I seen it. There was a car parked out. Well, it was kind of like rolling slow, kind of almost to a stop. And I looked and I thought, it looks like Jimmy. And I was like, no. And then I looked again and I'm like, and that looks like Bullhorn Betty. Well, I wasn't positive. So I walked back in and looked at my ring door camera, and I could see them. Well, then I took it down to the police station, but the next day he went live. And of course he's deleted that live since then, but he went live and like doxed my house and just everything about it, like what color it is. And
why would they do that to you if everything was fine and they didn't believe that you tried to hire a hitman and all this other stuff? What was the point? What do you think the point was for them to come to your house?
Oh, Dolly has been mad at me since I left his chat, and
okay.
He says that I left his chat because I was in love with him, and he turned me down, and he got extremely angry with me because I talked to other people on YouTube who he didn't want people talking to, like Lindsay. And so he just got madder and madder and madder.
Okay. So I'm confused because at any point did you have a personal texting relationship with Dolly?
He would text, but it was never anything other than about like true crime or his channel.
Okay. Now,
see, I always knew he was with Melissa. I knew from the very beginning.
Embarrass you, but was there any insinuation that y'all would hook up at any time? Because I'm trying to figure out why he would just go full psycho on you.
Yeah, no, I used to call him my little brother because we would bicker and
that's a fetish. Okay, sorry.
We would bicker about different cases, and I would say, he's just like a little brother to me, like pickable, like I could just pick on him. He used to be fun. He used to be really, really fun. When I first started watching him, his personality seemed fun. It was a fun environment. The show was fun, and it was just fun all in general. He's not like that now though.
Okay, I just read somebody in chat said like you basically would get information for him for his channel. So that's
I did.
motive. So y'all were not on good terms anymore, and you weren't helping him out with his channel. So then he goes and attacks you basically, and like doxes you.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much in a nutshell.
That's ridiculous. Like, if this is all true, like that's the most immature thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like,
I got a serious question. On one of Melissa's texts yesterday, it said from Dolly, I need to get rid of Avery first. So was he purposely trying to get rid of you? Like you're saying you left him, but he's trying to get rid of you.
Yeah, no, that was long after I left his chat. You'll have to go to one of the videos and watch all the rest of the text messages as they go. He had this master plan to destroy my entire life. When he's saying get rid of Avery, he's saying get rid of Avery. Like he wanted me off of YouTube, off of the internet. Like he texted my phone telling me that he was going to make me invisible. Like that I was no longer going to exist by the time that he was done with me. And that person was his mod who he was sharing his master plan with. And I think you can see the dates on those. I think they're like May, and I left his show in February. Yeah, he had a big, huge plan to just keep trying to mess with me.
I mean, it does. I watched just a few of Dolly's like channels, like in the drama that he's been in. It does sound very characteristic of him to try to turn it around. But again, I don't really know that guy. So
And look, last night before I left Laura's Discord, I sent his records, pictures of images of his records, just for one county, just for Chesapeake County, Virginia, because he has convictions in all kinds of other
Yeah, but that
counties
has nothing to do with you.
as well. And it just
That has nothing
proves,
to do
and
with
it just proves that he is dangerous. He's been convicted of assault. He's been convicted of beating up 3 different women. He's been convicted of assault on a family member, destruction of property. He's been convicted of threats by phone. Like, this is his history. This is his history. This is what he does.
well,
So I do not put it past him that he would not physically touch me. He's been convicted of it before. I've read the reports.
Yeah, in 2001.
Nothing nice.
In 2001.
All the way up till 2013.
There's one in 2001, 2013, and 2009.
That's just one county.
This is a long time ago.
No, he just beat up his girlfriend, Melissa.
Say that you were gonna. Did you say that you were gonna send documents to Queen, or was
No.
or was that asked of you? I didn't get to hear your response or where that was coming from.
I sent her a letter, and it's a letter from Chesapeake, Virginia. It's just a victim's advocate letter, addressed to me, because I have stuff filed there too against him. So
yeah,
it's
but
just,
you need to keep. Look, my word of advice: you need to go down to the police station.
Which,
You need to
hold
get
on, to be
those-
fair, a victim advocate will send a letter to anybody that files the paperwork,
Yeah.
anybody that files paperwork like domestic violence, domestic abuse, anything
Yeah.
like that. So
that's
to
what
be
it
fair,
is.
I just
We
want to
have-
say,
yeah, we have to
anybody
be
that does
fair.
file that, they will get a paper, they will get the letter. So
So
Yeah,
you
and
need
that's
to
what I.
go. You need to get the. So when a police comes to your house, or whether what you said it was somebody else's house that they went to, they go to the house. They have to make a report. So you need to get those reports so that if something happens to you, you can show the police officers, hey, I've kind of been dealing with this for a while now, and da 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 da. You gotta
Oh,
protect yourself.
Yeah, they know. They know. They know.
Not
So-
everybody knows though. I mean, you gotta think about how many police officers work in there. Not everybody knows about your single case.
I live in a very, very small area, and the sheriff's department knows, the police department knows, everybody knows. They're all aware of it.
No disrespect to you, Avery, but you should just keep this offline. Honestly, this is too much. Like,
Well, and that's what I was gonna
That's
say. That's what I was
why
gonna say
I
too. Is that like you engaged with this, like, and you kind of, and I'm not trying to be mean, but you kind of brought it out by responding to Pippi or Pippa.
You're
or
right.
whatever.
You're
And
absolutely
so,
right.
and you know how like the internet works. They're like, okay, those are serious allegations. Could you prove this, please?
Yeah,
That's what we all do.
I mean, I guess you guys probably weren't around back then when all this happened. But there was, multiple videos that I had done, showing everything. Plus, everybody was that said I engaged last night, responding to Pippa. You're absolutely right. I should
I
not have. I should not have responded. I just could not believe that after all these months that she's going to hop in chat and, start making these accusations again. I'm really tired of being called a hitman. I don't know. I shouldn't have
That
responded.
just sounds stupid. That sounds like the biggest joke to me. Like, okay,
It's
sure.
beyond. It's beyond stupid. Beyond.
Avery, did you say last night that his former like, not allegations, his former convictions is what helped you get the order?
No, I didn't mention his former convictions last night. I just sent screenshots of them in Discord just to show you guys that yes, he is somebody to fear.
All right, but you're not showing anything related to you.
No, I
You're
was showing
related
his.
to other people,
I was showing his prior convictions of assault and assault on women.
which can't even be used in Alabama courts.
I wasn't trying to use it in Alabama courts.
Okay, so his former convictions mean absolutely nothing other than you trying to trash his name.
No, it's because you guys were on panel talking about me, and you guys were saying Avery is not scared of him. She is not scared of him, or that Jerry lady was saying she is not scared of him. So
Why not show your paperwork? Why show his former record from 20 years ago?
I'm not going to do all of that anymore. That's all been done months ago. I'm not going to do it anymore.
But to be totally fair, if you're willing to share a victim's advocate letter, why wouldn't you want to share the rest?
I mean, that's because it has my child's information on it.
I mean, if you could redact that, I mean, I don't know.
I would
I'm
have
just
to
saying.
redox so much. As there's a lot more that happened that I'm not going to talk about publicly, and I have to save it for whenever we do get to court.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna put all of that out there. And then what's gonna happen is if I do put it out there, then he's gonna start back attacking. He's gonna start back messaging my daughters. He's gonna start back messaging my son. I mean, I know how Jimmy works.
Okay.
But he's saying that none of this is true.
I don't give a shit what he says.
Not showing anything to
I
prove.
don't give a shit what he says. He threatened my child's life. I don't give a fuck what he says. I wouldn't care if he caught on fire right now. I mean, I have
Wait.
nothing for him. I have nothing for him. He's disgusting. He's a woman beater. He's a manipulator. I have nothing for him.
Who told?
but
Avery, you might want to pull that warrant stuff and re-show that to maybe the county, city he lives in or something. I'm not pulling it, but that doesn't mean anything.
He was
So-
served. So that's all that matters.
Well, you might
Yes.
want to pull that and go ahead and see if the victim's advocate won't resend that because, I mean, it should be fresh. So
No, he was served by
I'm
law
not seeing it.
enforcement, so he knows. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. If
Do you have a tape of him basically admitting it?
he went live on his channel, but he
Well, you
dirty
took all your
deletes.
videos down. I looked for them yesterday.
Yeah, he dirty deletes. Yep.
And
Do you know if one of the clip channels got that on?
Yeah, Heels in the
Okay,
Air.
do you know
She's got
Heels in
it.
the Air does have it? Okay, well,
In fact,
I'll
she's
ask her
You're
and see,
lying.
but
Uh,
she's
you
got
might want to do a little bit of work on that, Avery, because it's not pulling up.
Yeah, in fact, Heels in the
Maybe it's
Air
selective.
and Savage, they have the audio of where he hired this guy, Rapper J, to hack my accounts.
Avery, your audio is bad. I don't know what happened all of a sudden.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was
I
going
think
to
it's
ask her
rapper
if this being,
J on all you.
You want to go out and come back
That's
in,
my
baby?
fault. Is that better?
yes.
Way better.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, Heels in the Air and Savage too. They both have the audio of, which I can't even remember how the hell we got that audio, but of him. He hired this little guy who hacks for him, named Rapper J, and it was oh my goodness, it was a discussion where
Yeah,
Rapper J he was Jimmy sent him cash apps, and then
how would they get that audio though? That's so weird, right?
I can't remember how the heck we got it.
Jimmy's notorious for sending these audio clips. I'm guessing only on
Yeah.
what came out recently.
I can't remember how we got it, but it was Rapper J. So Jimmy would cash app him and pay him to hack my accounts, and he did. He hacked all of my accounts, and then he put me on every freaking porn website you could think of with a screen name Avery Bad Mom. Put my son on there. Oh, then let me tell you this too. So we were all in a group chat, the mods, and Jimmy was in there, and my son was going to have a surgery, and I had shared photos with him, and it's photos of my son with tubes in his stomach. His intestines don't work, so he has trait tubes and stuff in his stomach, and so I never thought anybody would, ever at that time. You're like thinking these people are your friends, and you're just like, hey, pray for my son, but he saved him, and he put those all over the internet too.
Well, my best advice to you is I would quit talking about this, but I would go back legally and get back a hold of that victim's advocate. I would make sure these warrants are still active and see what's going on there, because there was a disconnect there.
Oh, I know they're still active here.
Are they? Wait, did you pull Alabama warrants then?
Yeah, they're in Alabama.
The warrants are in Alabama. I asked you earlier if they were in West Virginia.
No, there's
Alabama
there's
or
some
West Virginia?
charges in Chesapeake. There's pending charges, which is threats by phone, but the two warrants for my child are here in Alabama.
I'll look for that then.
Because he came here to my home.
Okay, Laura, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Okay, so she said all this, right? And she was a member of yours, obviously. Like, can I assume correctly that you really liked Laura at one point, Avery?
Hold on one sec. Allie Wright said, please ask Avery why she brought this drama to Laura if she won't show receipts, and why is she mad at Laura for not believing her without receipts?
I didn't intentionally bring anything to Laura. Laura asked, what's going on in the panel? Why is anybody bullying? Or why? She said something along the lines of, who's bullying Avery? Something along the lines of that. I only went up on panel to tell her that Pippa was down there in the chat and that she was just, steadily like attacking me. I had no idea the conversation was going to go as far as it did. In fact, I got so uncomfortable with it that I just went quiet for a long time, because I was just sitting there in disbelief that it went that far. It was mostly, it wasn't as much talk about Jimmy. It was, most of the conversation was more about the hitman and me cloning myself and that type of stuff. Once the conversation turned to him, I pretty much went quiet.
Like just the super ridiculous stuff is what you're saying. Like,
It's not true though. That's just not true. Go watch the video.
Okay.
What you're saying is not true.
What's not true, Laura?
You only went quiet when I was trying to call Dolly to find out what he's packing, and I was trying to make light of the whole thing.
No, I had just been sitting there quiet for a while before that, just listening and watching the chat.
You and Pippa are both adults. I'm a content creator. I'm not a psychiatrist. So I would think that two members, I'm not getting in the middle. I like both of you. I'm not getting in the middle. I'm going to keep quiet and let two grown adults talk. That's what happened.
That was kind of a question to you, Laura. You know what I mean? Like from this point on, like, what are you going to do with this? I mean, I don't feel like Avery has to show proof. I disagree with that. If this is what she's going through, that's enough. Like, we don't need to put this on the internet or whatever. If she's lying, then she's a horrible person. But I don't think she would say all this to be lying. You know what I mean? So I don't know, Avery. And at the same token, though, I don't think you. I said this already.
Buttercup, let me say something. Buttercup.
Yeah.
This is nothing against you, Avery, but I'm just saying this to Buttercup. People lie about some crazy shit online because they can get away with it and dip out and be gone. So
And
I've seen 3 different people, actually 4, fake their deaths on YouTube.
People need to get lives. Like, what is this? All this?
Oh no, you're right. You're correct, 100%. I'm just saying it's like the whole like receipts or it didn't happen fucking policy is that's why people live by it, because of people who are just so out of their minds. So it's like because you feel like you really know somebody here, but then things happen like that, and it's just like, whoa, okay, wait a minute. you know.
And also, let me throw this in. I didn't really care. Like, I'm not a Dolly fan, so I didn't really care
Me
about
either.
the situation either way. Never really said much. But last night, I felt like I was put in a position that I should have never been put in. That's what I'm saying. And
Well, I don't understand why you were trying to call him. I mean, for one, I knew the number they were giving you wasn't going to work, which I said that. I had no idea that you were trying again to get a hold of him on Facebook, because I had just told you that he's not going to come on because he's not supposed to be having contact. Surprisingly, he did come on.
you said that after the fact, Avery.
No, I said it
I
before.
said,
oh my God, hold
it's
on.
available. I sent a message to Dolly and I said, yo, I got 2 women on my panel fighting over you. Get over here. I said, I need a video of you making soap. I'll split the $5 with you. But he hasn't looked at it yet. He hasn't seen it yet. I didn't even know I was friends with him on Facebook. I just learned that now.
I don't know if you'll look at. Call him.
I don't know his number.
I don't know it either.
Avery, what's his number?
No clue.
Yes, you know his number, liar.
See?
You
I
know his
know.
number.
I don't know his phone number.
You were his mod too. Before.
Pippa, I also showed that message in my video. When he gave me that wrench, I immediately messaged him and told him, take that wrench away. I do not want to be a
How you said it, because that's how this whole fight started.
Yeah, pull it up. Because
I'll be right back. I will
after you called his live in call-in number, I told you were saying there's somebody in the background. This is Dolly, but I don't think it's him because he won't show his face. And I said he won't come up because he can't talk to me.
And he
And then
and showed
a
how,
little bit later, you let him up. So I just sat.
because he showed that you were lying.
No, he did not show that I was lying.
But none of that happened until after he came up. That's when you said, oh, well, I have an order against him.
The second Dolly got off that panel, I got off panel. I said very quickly, I have to go.
Yeah,
So no, there was no more conversation coming from me.
at any moment, you could have stopped me from calling him. And
I told you when you were calling me.
All right, hold on. I'm going to find it and prove you're lying. Again.
I just wanted to say that from what I listened to, the little clip when Dolly went on there live, he basically verified everything she said. He's like, this chick is crazy. She has over 700 things and something about warrants and stuff against them. I mean,
he knows
admitted it right there on the live. I don't know how to read that. So just
he admitted last night.
Who cares what Avery said? She's a fucking loser. She's such a liar. She's so peeled out her fucking mind. She don't even know what she's saying. I've been going to jail for fucking 5 years, according to Avery. Okay, there's 700 warrants for me. They're protective orders. This girl is batshit crazy. She hit her head on every rock you could humanly walk past.
What did he said, I'm not concerned about the warrants and peace bonds she's put out on me. He admitted it right on her live.
I thought I heard it.
Yeah, everybody heard it. I've been getting emails all morning long. Most bad stuff about Laura, but a lot of, like, wow.
Yeah, I'm not here to dog anybody out, but I thought, he said that. And I mean, I'm sick of all these YouTubers making up all these extra stories on top of these other stories. It's all a bunch of fluff and crap to get views and clicks. So
I don't even talk about him
Hold up.
on my channel.
You said a peace bond?
That's what Dolly said.
Not a restraining order.
That's what Dolly said. His word.
That's what he said. He said a few things. It was kind of like verifying what she said, but not really. If you go back and listen to it, and you can play it again in here, maybe Queen, and we all can hear the tail end when Dolly says it, and everyone can make their own decision on it or something. I don't know.
A peace bond is a court order issued by a justice of the peace designed to keep the peace by protecting someone whose person or property something. And it's a Canada thing.
Well, those were Jimmy's words, not mine.
But you're not willing to show proof of anything.
I've already showed it a long time ago. No, I'm not going to bring all this back into my life. I don't talk about Dolly on my channel. I just came back to my channel. It is strictly true crime videos, no drama. I don't talk about him. Last night is the first time that I have spoken about him in months. So.
Okay.